Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be. My name is Sean. I'm delighted you're joining us for today's ESPC community webinar. Today I'm joined by Clavin Fernandez, who will cover the end of manual work, how low-code automation is transferring document processing in Microsoft 365. We love hearing what you guys have to say, so remember to join in on the conversation about today's webinar. Our handle is at ESPC_community and our hashtag is hashtag ESPC25. Tweet us, tag us, and tell us what you learned. Don't let the learning stop here. Continue to stay. Don't forget to check out our Learning Hub, which is updated the latest blogs, ebooks, webinars, and how-to videos. You can access and view the Learning Hub by visiting our website, sharepointeurope.com, and clicking the Content tab at the top. Continue to keep up and stay ahead by joining us for our next webinar, Semantic Link, a magic cauldron to unlock Power BI with Python, with Stephanie Bruno, MVP. This webinar will take place Monday, 26th of May, 11 a.m. CEST. For more information on this webinar, please check out www.sharepointeurope.com/register for webinars. Save. Book your late bird EPC 25 ticket now to secure the best possible price. Don't miss your chance to be part of Europe's biggest Power Platform event, where you can connect with experts, gain practical skills in Copilot Studio, Power Apps, Power BI, and Power Automate, and explore the future of AI-driven business solutions with Microsoft Agents. Book now and make the most of this limited time offer. Scan the QR code to find out more and secure your spot today. Attend Europe's premier Microsoft 365 and AI conference, ESPC 25, taking place in Dublin, Ireland. This is your opportunity to gain incredible insights and real-world inspiration from some of the top minds in the industry. Whether you're looking to deepen your expertise in Microsoft 365, explore the power of AI, connect with peers, or hear from world-class speakers, ESPC 25 offers it all. With dedicated sessions, hands-on learning, networking opportunities, and vibrant social events, you'll learn information, you'll leave informed, inspired, and connected. Book your super early bird ticket today and secure your place to this must-attend event. Scan the QR code to find out more. After this webinar, we'll have a questions and answer session. Type any questions you might have into the questions box. Questions will be selected and answered at the end of the presentation. This webinar will be recorded and added to the Resource Center, where you will be notified by email when it is available. And now I'm going to pass you over to today's webinar presenter, Clavin. Hello, Clavin. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, hi, Sean. Perfect. Can you hear me, Sean?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Perfect. Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's webinar. The topic for today is end of manual work. We are going to see how low-code automation can transform document processing in M365. My name is Clavin. I'm a Microsoft Business Applications MVP. That means I work a lot with low-code. I'm also a solution consultant at Nutrient. At Nutrient, we deliver building blocks to accelerate business transformation using modern SDKs, cloud solutions for document processing, low-code tools for M365 and other platforms such as Salesforce. We also have our own workflow automation platform. I will show you some of these tools today, in addition to the Microsoft tech and how you can integrate both of them to create magic, that is digital transformation. Before we go into the agenda, a quick housekeeping. I'm a bit under the weather, so if you hear me cough, my apologies, but don't worry, I'll try to mute myself and return, okay? So let's quickly get into the agenda. So today's agenda is designed to walk you through a story. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story. Interesting, right? I'm going to start with the pain. Yes, you heard it right. The pain, and then we will progress and we will get rid of the pain at the end of it. So how does it work? We'll see how document processing crisis can affect your organization. Then we'll see the rise of low-code automation. Yes, the rise of low-code. Then we will see how documents and AI can transform your business. We'll also see how AI and low code can help you build smarter document ecosystem. Aha. We'll use technologies such as syntax, copilot, and also talk a little bit about hyper automation. That being said, I'll wrap it up with a lot of demonstrations. So we'll start with the pain, right? The document crisis. When it comes to the pain, the most important and the most valuable thing is time. Ask yourself, your employees are spending hours and hours of work by doing what? The question is what? They are doing data entry. They are trying to format stuff. They are trying to change the name of the files. Is that what you want them to do? No, right? You want to get them to productivity, and all of this work that I'm talking about, you hand it off to none other than either the AI or the low-code automation processes. That being said, what is the second crisis? If you don't have time, if your employees are just spending time on repetitive tasks, it means that your business will not grow, right? And it will not grow because of the loss of productivity. Yes, you don't want your business to go down because of less productive employees. You want them to be happy and productive both together. That being said, what does this lead to? This leads to employees burnout. Yes, most of the employees don't complain. They just leave the organization at times, trying to find more meaningful work. Do you want to lose a resource because you are behind innovation? No, right? You don't want to do that. You have the tech, Microsoft is providing it, we are providing it, use it, automate your business processes, and keep your employees happy. And finally, the one of the most important thing out here is when you do manual work, it's nearly impossible to audit it. We are humans, we are not machines. We are tend to do human errors. You don't want to have an audit report which can lead to penalties and fines in your organization. So I'll again repeat, time drain, productivity loss, missed innovation opportunities, and risk of non-compliance. Don't let it slip into your organization. These are the pains. That being said, in 2023, there was a survey. On an average, an employee will waste more than 21 days a year doing repetitive tasks of work. One employee is wasting 1 month just doing repetitive tasks. So what's the solution? The solution is use low-code platforms. Yes. Now you'll say, Clavin, all of my employees that I'm working with are not developers. Don't be disheartened. You don't have to be a developer to go ahead and use low-code solutions. You just need to understand the business. The best person who understands the business is not the developer. Trust me, it's your end users. You can empower your end users with low-code tools, which can help them drag and drop things, okay, into a user interface. It looks like Lego blocks, I would say. And once you have that, you can fill in some connectors, and then magic, you can automate business processes. It lowers the barrier both between technical and non-technical users. In addition to that, there are a lot of templates available. When I say, I'll show you the templates, but there are hundreds of templates that are created by community members and Microsoft, which you can reuse. So that being said, let's get into a quick demo. So let me quickly open the best low-code automation platform. Any guesses what it is? You already see it on your screen. It's Power Automate. Power Automate will help you with your automation. So first and foremost, let me talk about templates, right? There are a lot of templates out here that you can use. Yes, if there's something that you're planning to build, try to not create it from scratch. Try to search for a template. Most of the times, there is a template already available. Okay, that's the important piece. Secondly, right, once the template is available, you can modify it. Now, let me make it interesting for you. I said low code automation can save your time, can do this, can do that, blah, blah, blah. What you see on the screen is a 5-minute timer, right? I will create a business process within 5 minutes, and then we will try to execute it as well. Before I start the timer, I'll take the leverage to actually explain you the business process. So here I am in my SharePoint. I have got a few documents, okay? The documents are banking information. This is how it would look like. It's a credit card limit application. What does it have? It has PII information. I want to get rid of this PII information. Now, if I'm going to do this manually, I need to download it. I need to use a third-party PDF tool to select the text, for example, the credit card number, and save it and then re-upload it, right? How much time do you think it will take if you have around thousands of files? 1 minute, 1,000 minutes? But what if we can automate this within 5 minutes? So now that you understand the use case, let's get into the demo. So I'm going to start my timer. I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to go into Power Automate. I'll click on Create. I'll click on Instant Flow. I'll click on Manual Flow. I'll also pray to the demo gods that everything works as expected. So let's understand this. Your files are in SharePoint, so you need to first get the files. So I'll type in SharePoint. I'll say see all. And here I'm going to go ahead and get the files. In fact, yeah, I found it. So I want to get the files from my SharePoint. Where are the files stored? It is stored in Webinar ESPC, and the name of the document library is none other than redaction demo. Understand this. I'm trying to explain you as an end user how the end user or the business user should think while creating business process. The files are in SharePoint. I'm going to get the files. The files are here. Perfect. Now that I have gotten the files, the next step would be I want to redact the information. So to redact the information, I'm going to use the nutrient connector, right? This is just an example out here. So if I use the nutrient connector, I can go ahead and redact information. So let me quickly check. Okay, going back. So nutrient preview. Okay, this particular action is in preview. Okay, we are going to ship it real soon, but this is what I wanted to go ahead and show you. Now, that being said, if you see, I'm under stress. It's 5 minutes, right? I'm going against the clock. That's why I'm stressing out. I'm trying to get my naming convention wrong. But you would not be in stress. So let's see, what do I need to configure? I need to say no for everything. I'm just going to say no for everything. But most importantly, I'm going to say no for credit card numbers. Okay, I'm going to redact credit card numbers. I'm going to redact MAC. And all of this is going to happen automatically. So you don't have to define the places in your file. For example, if it's on the 3rd page, if it's on the 4th page, if it's at X location in your document. But here, what I want to give it is a source file content. So I need to get the source file content as well. So the source file content will be from where? It should be from SharePoint. So SharePoint, get file content, going to quickly select the same, and I will pass it the identifier. Okay, clicked on the wrong thing. Identifier. Once I have clicked it on the identifier, it automatically puts it into an array. So it will go into one document at a time. Now that I have it configured, next thing I need to pass in the source file content. I have the source file content. What does it need? A mandatory field is the source file name. I'll type in file name with extensions. And finally, I will create the file back into SharePoint. Okay, so create file. Here I can create the file and I'll give it a folder path. I don't want to have an infinite loop, so I'll put it in a different folder known as redacted PDF. Now that I have it configured, I will give it the base file name .pdf, and then I will give it a file content. So it's going to be redacted documents. Within 5 minutes, I have configured the Power Automate solution. I need to grab some water, so give me a minute. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on manual and I'm going to click on test, okay? And I'm going to click on continue. So I will run the flow and we'll see the output in a minute. I think I just completed the flow on time so that I can actually go ahead and cough a little, okay? That's what it is, but I'm again sorry. Please bear with me. I'm under the weather, okay? So what it's doing is going into the documents, fetching the files, and boom, it's done, all under 5 minutes. Let's go back. Aha, the credit card number is gone. So this is what I can call as the rise of low code, okay? I hope this quick demo actually shows you the power. So that being said, is it only this particular platform that does low-code automation, that is the Power Automate desktop? The answer is no. You might have, so okay, if you're coming from an on-premise background, you might use Nintex. We also provide a connector for Nintex, right? If you're using Zapier, you can also use Zapier. We also provide a connector for Zapier. And if you're using some RPA tools such as UiPath or I would say Power Automate connector or Power Automate desktop, sorry, we can also give you tools that integrate with them. So let me quickly go back and show you a little bit more about our connector. If I can spell correctly. Okay, so we do a lot. You can add watermarks, you can add barcodes, you can convert files, extract files, so on and so on. So if you're looking for a connector which helps you with document automation, go ahead and use this. That is the Nutrient Document Connector. So that being said, enough of talking, let's move on to the next part of the demo. Perfect. So the next part of the demo would be the pillars of document management. I've been working in the document industry for quite some time. And the 5 pillars that I think when it comes to document management would be classification, extraction, transformation, review, and save for use. What does classification mean? Identify and categorize the documents, okay? Understand if it's a structured document or an unstructured document. What is a structured document? A structured document is an invoice. You know that every time the invoice will have a table at this particular location. The table might expand, yes. but you know that it's going to be at 0.72 to 180. Okay, now you'll say, Clevin, what are you talking about points? When it comes to documents, mainly PDFs, the location is calculated in points. That is 1 divided by 72 of an inch. Okay, so that is what structured documents mean. Unstructured means it can be anywhere in the document. So you need to search it and get meaningful information out of it. Once you have the meaningful information, tag it. That's what the classification means. The next part would be the extraction. Now, when it comes to extraction, you can either use AI, but before using AI, you might want to OCR it. What does OCR mean? OCR means optical character recognition. For example, when you use a scanner and when you scan a document, right? When you scan a document, what really happens? You scan a document, it comes out as a PDF, but it's an image-based PDF. For an LLM model to understand how the document, what is in the document, it has to get the text out of it. But here, because it's an image-based PDF, there's no text in it. So you might want to OCR it. Sometimes you might want to transform it. You might want to go ahead and change it into another format. In fact, any guesses what are the best formats that LLM uses or wants the document to be in? The best would be the markup. It's lightweight. If you can convert your documents to markup and feed it to LLM, it will give you more accurate answers. Finally, you want to review and check for errors. Now, reviewing it manually is not possible. When you do a document automation process, you need to understand one thing. Every LLM model or every good automation software will return you a confidence threshold. Confidence threshold goes ahead and helps you remove the person or the human part of it. Based on the confidence threshold, you can either ask a human to check it. For example, if the confidence threshold is below 60%, you need a human review. But if the confidence threshold is more than 70%, the information might be accurate, so you can skip it. And finally, make sure that you save the document into a storage and use it. So you might want to have audit trails around it and feedback loops and improvements. So that being said, what does the future of document workflow looks like? So the future looks like intelligent document processing. That means context-aware documents. You can talk to documents using chat, it will respond to it. AI will predict what user needs to do next. Yes, AI will help you. That's what Copilot is about. We are going to talk about Copilot in a bit. Then you can use text such as syntax, which is AI native content. You can convert unstructured data into searchable knowledge sources. Syntax works only with SharePoint. It's a SharePoint Premium. That's why it was named SharePoint Premium in the past. It's known as SharePoint Premium now. Sorry, it was named as Syntax in the past. So I did it the other way around. But it helps you classify, extract, etc., etc. Use Copilot for automation. What are Copilots? These are apps that you can create with low code or no code and deploy it in your M365 environment. It uses natural language processing and it helps you with multiple other things. Now, finally, you can also create an autonomous agent. What is the difference between a Copilot and autonomous agent? We will go ahead and understand it in a demonstration. So yes, as I told you, we have a lot of demonstration and we will pick up another tech out here. The tech that I'm going to pick up is actually Copilot, right? So I hope that everyone has used Copilot, right? If not, you're missing something very powerful. Copilot is your assistant. It helps you with your day-to-day task. Now, that being said, you have heard a lot about agents. I would say, what is a difference between an agent and a co-pilot? A co-pilot is set to assist you. An autonomous agent or an agent is an AI system that can independently understand the business scenario, take decisions, action on it, and then achieve a specific goal without, I'll repeat the word, without human input. Okay? So that's the difference between an agent and a co-pilot. Agents can work independently. So that being said, let's take a document management scenario with agents. Now again, if there's something that you want to automate, always look at the templates. You see the templates out here, you might want to use the templates, right? So let's create a quick agent out here. So I'm going to click on new agent, so new, and I can skip to configure. So how easy it is to create an agent. Firstly, give your agent a meaningful name. So I'll just say, create a support agent. That's the easiest scenario, right? Support agent for document converter. You can give the agent an icon. So let me quickly select an icon for an agent. I will select, where's my icon? Okay, I messed it up. I cannot find the pop-up now, so I'll again click here. Okay, I found it, so save icon. So I'll use an icon. Perfect. An agent needs a description. Describe your agent. Okay, always understand the description plays an important part. What does it say? This single line actually explains a lot. It tells you, use your own words to describe what the agent should help you with. Use your own imagination to the best and give your agent a meaningful description. In this case, I'm going to say, this is a support agent which will help you with problems related to the document converter. Okay, this is what I'm going to say. Now, I can go ahead and give it instructions. Should I give it instructions? Yes, let's give it instruction. So when I give it instructions, let's understand this, right? I'm going to say it's a support agent for a specific product, then use some data source or a knowledge source and answer the question about maybe installation, configuration, troubleshooting, etc., etc. Also, make sure that you citate a section if it's available. And the main problem with AI is it hallucinates, right? Do you want your AI to give you random answers? For example, you're telling it to work on the document converter, but it returns you answer about Oracle or something else. You don't want that to be the AI agent to do that. So always tell it, be concise and accurate. Okay. You can also restrict the knowledge sources. That's what we are going to go ahead and understand. You can create some starter prompts. We'll skip that. It's about how you greet, etc., etc., but that's not necessary. We are mainly focusing on autonomous agents. Finally, you can add your knowledge sources. The knowledge sources can be public website, it can be SharePoint, it can be OneDrive, Dataverse, and so on, or you can upload your own document. When you upload your own document, it can be as big as 512 MB, etc., etc., right? But I cannot upload a document right now. Why is that? Because first I need to create the agent. So let me create the agent first. So the agent is getting created. Perfect. As soon as the agent gets created, you get more options out here. The options would be to add a knowledge source. So I'm going to add a knowledge source out here. Knowledge source is about documents, and this is the important piece in the puzzle. So I'm going to go and select a document, select the administration guide. I can also give this a meaningful description. I'm going to be lazy and just say add, right? So once I go ahead and click on add, it will upload the files. and I can just wait, right? One important thing out here, when I click on it, don't immediately start typing your questions, right? Go ahead and check the status. If it's in progress, wait till it is being processed. If you're straight away trying to type in, you will not get responses. So let me go back out here. It's in progress. That's all right. You can create actions. For example, what happens when an autonomous agent completes it? Do you want to send it as an email? Do you want to send it over Teams? Trigger. For example, if you're creating an autonomous agent, when an email comes in, do you want to automatically answer it? Right? Those are the things that you can go ahead and configure. While the knowledge is getting built, let's go ahead and look at another agent. I have created a simple SharePoint agent, right? Now you'll say, Clevin, you have created an agent from a different data source. Now for this particular agent, I have made sure that it should not hallucinate. That's why I said disable general knowledge. Only the information that it has in this data source, answer me those questions. Perfect. So I'm going back and the data source is image PDFs, right? Now in image PDFs, I have got few files. So I'll just quickly preview few files. So this is the same credit card information. Okay, I should have redacted it, right? When I type in, you'll see something. I have got an invoice, right? I'll preview it. This is how it looks like. Then I have got few patent related files, and this is how it looks like, right? Let me quickly type in few questions. Why am I showing you this is because of a reason. I'm going to show you the behavior with all of these files. One thing in common is all of these are PDFs, but you'll see the difference in the behavior. I asked it the question, okay, tell me the total amount from Aquaforest invoice. It gave me a number. Perfect. It's a very good agent. It gave me the perfect answer, right? Voila. Next, I'm going to go ahead and tell, okay, its name is Jack Neal. So let's say that give me the address of this particular person. The address of this person is this. Perfect. Now I'm going to say, give me details about Johanna R. Is the same credit card statement, right? Scenario. And I'm asking it a question, and let's wait for the response. Aha, it gives me PII information back. Not good. Always make sure that you scrub off the information, prepare your data for AI if you are intended not to expose PII information. So this is the first piece, okay? And finally, I'm going to ask it some questions related to the patents, right? So United States patents. Bad AI, bad copilot, bad agent. It then returned me the response. Most of the time this happens when you're working with large data sources or you have migrated a data source. Most of the times you don't get responses. First thing, Copilot with SharePoint uses Microsoft Search using graph behind the scene, right? So only the information that is indexed, searchable in SharePoint will be searchable in Microsoft Copilot. First thing. Now, I am giving you a hint out here. When I actually maybe open this file in the browser, the first thing that you see is that it's trying to extract text. This is a feature of Chrome. It's trying to OCR the document behind the scene. Okay, good. Chrome is doing it. But am I saving the document back into SharePoint? No, it's just OCRing it in the browser. When you're using SharePoint, you might want to use tools such as, I would say, Syntax. Syntax doesn't OCR the original document, understand that. It doesn't modify the original document. It always creates, it stores the extracted text into the Microsoft Search DB. Okay, that's what it does. Perfect, that's good. However, It means that if you are downloading the document and using it with semantic kernel, or maybe uploading it into a different data source, or using it with your local LLM, it will not work unless you use Graph, right? So if you want to make your data ready for every platform available, you should OCR the documents. OCR stands for optical character recognition. Now, that being said, let me quickly show you a tool that we provide for OCRing. Okay. Now, as I told you, you have multiple tools available. It's not just one tool. I just realized that only half of my face is visible in the camera. That's not good. Sean, you could have told me about it, but that's all right. So that means, yeah. So that being said, I am going to show you a tool. This is the tool. It's known as document searchability. What does the tool do? The tool does one thing, just one thing. It makes your documents searchable. It makes your documents ready for the AI journey. The best output is Markdown, right? I told you that. But the basic would be to actually have your PDFs and other formats actually OCR'd. That means make it in a format that is AI friendly. So that's what we are going to do. How do we configure this tool? Real quick. Should I put on a 5-minute timer? Nah, I'm not going to do that again and again. When I did that the last time, you saw me. I was trying to talk fast, and then what happened? I started coughing. Right? I don't want to do that again. So I'll talk slowly, and I'll make sure that I don't cough. So this particular tool works with your SharePoint, on-premise, online. Now understand the syntax and other tools might not work in on-premises. So if you are an on-premise customer or an existing on-premise user or an administrator, this is a tool which will help you do that, okay? So it's not limited only to online. It can work with your file system. It can work with online, on-premise, Azure, blob storage, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and use M365 or Office 365. And here, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give it a file URL, right? I'll give it a file URL. It supports all the authentication types. I'll click on save. It prompted me for a login, and it did the login by itself. Now, the most important thing about your document journey or your digital transformation journey would be auditing information and hyper automation. We'll talk about hyper automation in a bit, but you see the number of cores that you have on your machine. I have 22 core machine. It means that it will process 22 documents at a time, right? I will say process 5 documents. Okay, let's say that process 22 documents at a time and audit my data source. I'm not going to OCR it. It tells me, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to process the PDFs? Yes. Do you want to process images? Yes. Fully searchable, hidden text, multiple things. Do you want to retain date and time, etc., etc.? You can do that. Do you want to go ahead and store a copy of your file? This is basically used for legal purposes. So you can archive the original file as well. So here I will say, okay. You can also remove punch holes, dark borders, etc., etc., right? You can do those things. You can schedule it. You don't want to run it manually. And you can do the alert settings. You can click on next, and you can click on create, right? Once you click on create, if you see it so very quickly audited the documents. You understand? We found the culprits. We found the culprits out here. It told us that, Clavin, you have got 6 documents in total. Okay, it went into my SharePoint. Even before I blinked, it finished it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 documents in SharePoint. 4 documents are image only PDFs. Image only PDFs. They are not searchable, right? And 2 documents are searchable. And that was the behavior. We got the same behavior with our chat or Copilot. Now we know the culprit. We want to action on it. You can also create and generate an audit report if you want to. Just quickly show you how the report works so that you can show it for compliance purposes, right? Can I find the report? Yes, I can find the report. This is how the report would look like. It tells me, Clavin, only 7.7% of your SharePoint or the documents are searchable. Rest of them are not searchable, and so on. That's all right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make them AI ready. How do I make them AI ready? By just clicking a button of audit and OCR, right? I'll save it. And once I save it, I can go back to the dashboard and start and complete this particular document OCRing. It's going to be real quick. It's completed. And now the documents should be actually searchable in my SharePoint. Now, this is something known as hyper automation. This is something that you will go ahead and empower your administrators. Okay, your administrators will be the ones who will go ahead and get you these things. So as you see, it's already searchable. It's searchable in SharePoint. So that being said, now when I try to have a conversation with it, it will take some time, but it will be picked up by Copilot and you can go ahead and use it further, right? So that's pretty much it when it comes to Copilot and getting your documents ready. In the meantime, let's see, the 10 minutes ago, we created an agent, and does it actually give us the information? And once you have tested it, you can test your agent, you can actually deploy it to channels. And the channels would be, you can deploy it to your teams, you can deploy it to your demo site, you can deploy it to Skype, you can deploy it to Facebook, Slack, etc., etc. So let me ask it a few questions. Tell me about which versions of SharePoint are supported by document converter, right? So here I'm trying to answer your question, why? Why do you use tools to go ahead and get your documents ready for AI? Empower your end users with low-code tools, empower with administrators with tools such as syntax or maybe document searchability, as I showed you, and get your automation or the document journey in place. If you see, how much time did it take for me to create an agent, which can actually go into the document and tell me, okay, it works with almost all the versions of SharePoint. Let me try to trick it. Let's see if it hallucinates. Tell me about Oracle. It's not in the document, but let's see what happens. Now, this is the tricky bit about AI, right? Now I'm sweating because it can hallucinate. Luckily, it did not hallucinate, and it told me, okay, go ahead and contact the support agent. Why did it not hallucinate? Because I used few words in instruction that helped it. Be concise and accurate. If I remove that, it usually hallucinates and gives me random generic information, which is not at all good. Perfect. So that being said, I'm running out of time, so let me quickly get into the next demo. Oops, now this is what happens when you try to do something at a higher speed, right? You go ahead and have to start from the scratch. Perfect. Now I showed you some tools. One tool that is searchability that can get your documents ready. We have tools that can also convert your documents to Markdown and you can pass it to LLMs. That can be done perfectly. And then we also have a tool that can help you chat and interact with documents. It's known as AI Assistant. It's an SDK that helps you summarize documents, redact information, get more insights from the document, etc. I'll do a demo about it. We have an SDK. So if you are developers out here, one thing very important, okay? Now, if you need a session, I do a lot in semantic kernel, right? And what is semantic kernel? Semantic kernel is an orchestration model. You are right. That means it is a way to connect to your local LLM. But semantic kernel has a concept known as functions. I use functions a lot. What is functions? Functions helps the LLM or the application to decide, should I use an LLM or should I use something from an SDK? For example, if I want to OCR the document, I don't just throw it to the LLM. It will burn out tokens for me, right? Rather, I go ahead and use an SDK to do it. If I use an SDK, it saves my tokens and I have more control over the output. For example, How many of you go ahead and ask the LLM, like, okay, if you have asked it today, it might give you an accurate answer, but just asked it in maybe ChatGPT 3. It can tell you how many R's are in a strawberry. It gives you random answers. It gave me random answers. I freaked out. It gave me 10, I guess, that time. Then I asked the same thing, write me code in Python and calculate the number of R's in a strawberry. It gave me the code that gave me the correct answer, but then it told me, the code is correct, but you know what? I think it's still 10. You never give the math operations to a LLM model. I don't do that, okay? Because we are programmers and mathematics is something that we like. So always do that. I also refer to LLM as an elephant, right? The LLM is an elephant. It's the most powerful beast when you're going to a war or if you're taking an army with you, but it's the most difficult thing to control, right? LLMs are difficult to control. So always prefer an SDK over an LLM if I want to have more control over it. And the final piece, I pass it to an LLM. So that's what it's about. So before that, let me actually, we have some time. So let me quickly go ahead and show you the Nutrient AI assistant first. Okay. So this is an assistant that we have built. You can take this and integrate it in your application. Let me upload a random document. So, so I have uploaded a document and it was quick. Oh, okay. I uploaded a document and it's in Japanese. Clavin. The only document that you found is a Japanese document. Anyone in the audience understands Japanese? Can you tell me what it is about? Okay, I don't understand Japanese. So it tells me, okay, summarize the document. See, AI, this is the thing that I wanted to show you. You can build AI agents that can help you summarize the document and actually help you understand it. So it told me this is about a couple praying for a child. Interesting. Right? This is interesting. You can also select a particular line, click on the icon, and say translate. What does this stand for? Any guesses? I think no. It stands for dimension master. Right? In simple words, it can be someone powerful. So this is what the AI agent can do. So one thing that Copilot cannot do, or one thing I can show you, another thing. Let me quickly click delete a few documents. Let me not delete it. Let me add another document and let me do this. Now this is going to be more powerful and this uses an SDK behind the scene. Okay. After going to the AI, it goes ahead and uses SDK. This is what I was talking about. Use the SDK when you need it. When you don't need it, don't use the SDK. I can just say redact PII information, right? Specific page, let's say page number 1. Now what it's doing behind the scene is changing the document into text format, and it returns me. Wow, did you just see what it did? It went into the document and found the from address, and you can redact the from address right from here. So this is how intelligent applications are being created using AI, right? This is what it is. The final piece that I want to show you is another tool, which is like in the next 3 minutes, I think I should be able to demonstrate it, and then I'll be open for questions. But I want to show you a tool that can empower your administrators. So let me quickly show you that. It's opening. In the meantime, let me actually go to nutrient.io. And this is our website. As I told you, we provide an SDK which integrates with multiple platforms. Go ahead and anything related to documents, we should be able to help you. We also go ahead and give you a viewer. The viewer that you saw is our SDK. We released a very new tech known as cloud. We give you the viewer API. That means you don't have to worry about the hostings. You just have to worry about, getting a license and using it. Leave the rest to us. Use the viewer API. If you want to process the document, use the processor API, right? That's another thing. Low code, all the connectors that I showed you, Power Automate. We also have a SharePoint Online app. You can find it. Workflow, our own automation platform. You can find it as well. Finally, I think I'm good. Let me get my slide back. The tool is actually, it's taking a bit of time to open, but that's all right. So here, if you see, if you want to learn more, look into our blogs. That is nutrient.io/blogs, nutrient.io low code. We also have a webinar coming about the bundle release. As I told you, there are a few features in preview. Sorry if you lost the screen. Few features in preview. If you want to go ahead and understand what's next, you can find it there. We have a free trial. If you want to evaluate and then buy the product or purchase the product, go ahead and do that. Contact us at sales@nutrient.io. And finally, we have a sales form that you can fill in. Finally, this is the tool that I was talking about. This is about hyper automation. You can think of it as an RPA for documents. You can create a new job. Creating a new job can be as simple as dragging and dropping actions. But before that, I'll quickly go through a use case. Let me see. So I have a few folders out here. Let's say that I have a few documents. I want to archive the documents in a particular format. The format would be PDFA. If you don't know about PDFA, PDFA is a standard that you need to archive the document for long-term processes. You can read about it on Wikipedia. You can just type in PDFA and Wikipedia. So this is what it is. It's an ISO standard format. I want to convert all of these documents, all of these documents that are in folder in a PDFA format. How easy it is. Give it a job name. Image to searchable PDF. Then I can actually convert it into a PDFA format if I want to. If you see it comes up, select it, click OK. I'm again sorry for coughing. I am under the weather. I'm going to mute myself for a minute. I'm going to give it an in folder and an out folder. If you see, I'm first converting it into a searchable PDF. Again, this tool can scale. It can go through the number of cores that you have on your machine, or you can also go ahead and use connectors if your files are on a different place, such as SharePoint file system, Azure, etc., etc. So it can do. This is a tool that can empower your administrators. It can run on schedule. How easy it is? I have already created my workflow process. This is an workflow automation tool. You can create your workflow, OCR it, and then you can go ahead and do it. Okay, it gave me an error, but the error is not something bad. I can just say start a service. So the service was not started. That's all it was. And I can go ahead and run the job again. Right. So I think that's pretty much it. Sean, I think I am open for questions while this is running in the background.
Perfect. So thank you, Clavin, for a great presentation demo. So we'll now get into the questions and answers part. Should you wish to ask a question, please feel free to type in the questions box now. So our first question is, how can IT leaders evaluate whether a manual workflow is ready for low-code automation?
So the most important bit is talking to your end users, right? You need to go ahead and understand what the end user needs. The IT admin will never understand it. Talk to your end users and see what manual tasks they are doing. It can be as easy as, redacting information from documents manually. You can automate it. This is one of the scenario, right? Filling up forms. For example, you're getting an Excel file and they are manually filling it up in PDFs and submitting it. It's a banking scenario, right? Look at it at a low level. Conduct a workshop. Talk to your people. They should be able to go ahead and help you better. Talk to your employees more. Does that
Perfect.
answer your question?
Yep. So the next question is, how can organizations ensure that automation document workflows comply with data protection regulations like GDPR?
Perfect. So first thing, what is GDPR? The connectors that we have, you can select a data center location of your choice. So I showed you about the Power Automate connector, right, that we have. With the Power Automate connector, we are hosting it, right? So it's our responsibility. We are hosted on Azure. We never store your data. First thing, it's public. And secondly, GDPR means your files should not leave the EU. It's basically for the it's for the European Union, right? So you can say, Nutrient, process the documents within EU, and we will point you to the Nutrient, that is the Azure data center in the European Union. So when it comes to GDPR compliance, we are actually very much serious about it. We never store your document. We make sure that your documents are processed in the data center that you ask us to do.
Perfect. So next question is Power Automate the most effective tool for document automation?
You're asking a Microsoft Business Applications MVP the question, right? It's the best, right? That's what I can say. Now, I'll tell you a few of the benefits about Power Automate. The Power Automate benefit would be, if you're in the M365 space, right? Power Automate tightly integrates with SharePoint, Outlook, etc., etc. You also have Power Automate Desktop, which acts as an orchestration tool for an RPA process, right? Which again can connect with the cloud. So if you are in an M365 environment, Power Automate is your best bet. The connector that I showed you, that is the Nutrient connector, is just a standard connector. You don't need a premium license for it. So when you have a business process, there are two types of connectors, by the way. One is premium and one is the normal one. That is the standard connector. We are a standard connector. You don't have to pay extra license fee to Microsoft to use our connector. You just purchase a subscription from us and boom, you can use it. So long story short, if you are in M365, the best connector, the best automation would be Power Automate, because Microsoft is investing in it. In addition, it comes with AI inbuilt tools such as AI Builder. You can use that. You can use plugins with Power Automate if you're building co-pilots and so on and so on. So yeah, Power Automate can be your best bet.
I don't know if you answered this already, but how can admins maintain oversight of automated workflows to ensure compliance and avoid data leakage?
Very good question. Data leakage. Process it in your own premises. That would be the best bet for me, right? And that is why I showed you none other than the searchability tools. The tools that I showed you are all installed in your environment. That means behind your DMZ network or your firewall. Let's make it easier. When you use tools such as these that I showed you, one is searchability and then is the document automation server, which is here. Both are installed in your environment. I understand you have scale, but you can just install it, put it on schedule and run it. That means you are not getting into any third-party obligations. One of the main thing about the tools that we have in Nutrient work with both online and on-premises. Some of them actually use the tools to get documents from an on-premise source and then send it to online, right? All happens over an encrypted network. So yeah, means it's a difficult question to answer, but you can use on-premise tools. If you're going for cloud-based tools, make sure that it's GDPR compliant. Make sure that you have your security team ask questions. I answer questions on security questionnaires. Review their architecture diagram. Make sure that they don't store your documents. Most of the companies store your documents for quite some time. We don't. As soon as the process is finished, we delete the documents.
Very good. Looks like that's all the questions. So on behalf of the ESPC community, we'd like to extend a big thank you to you again, Clavin, for taking time out today to carry this webinar. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Sean, for hosting me. Again, sorry for the coughing. The 5-minute the demo actually took the most out of me. I was talking too fast, but yeah. I hope that it was all right.
Yeah, it was amazing. Thank you, Clavin. So
Okay.
that's the end of today's webinar. You can find this webinar and more at sharepointeurope.com/resource center. Thanks again for all of you who joined us today, and I hope you join us again soon. Take care.